Brazilian Bulletin, para que você possa estar atualizado sobre as notícias que está ocorrendo no Brasil e possa informar aos seus conhecidos em outros países da notícia real, uma vez que a mídia tradicional não está fazendo isso. Hi, this is Brazilian Bulletin. My name is Leonardo Mendes, and this is the bulletin that we are issuing to broadcast the real news, the reality of what's going on in Brazil, since the regular traditional media is hiding so many facts. Okay, we begin talking about protesters block road again. There are 6 demonstrations points on highway BR 364 in Rondônia, which began between Thursday night and Friday morning 18. The Federal Highway Patrol, PRF, reported this Friday, the 18th, that protesters against the election of Lula da Silva have once again blocked federal highways. According to the balance sheet, there are 6 blocks which completely prevent vehicle traffic and 1 interdiction partially compromising the flow. The blocks are all in Rondônia, a state up north Brazil in the Amazon. According to the PRF, the Rondonian Highway Patrol reported that all demonstrations are at points on the BR 364 road, which connects the states of Rondônia to Mato Grosso, in the municipalities of Vilhena, Cacoal, Presidente Médici, Ji-Paraná, and Jaru. On the other hand, the protests and riots are different in other parts of the country. The relationship between truck drivers who peacefully protested turned sour once and for all with Minister Alexandre de Moraes. Angry with the decision, the drivers decided in a meeting that will stop the country. The highways must remain free, as the stoppage must be voluntary. Even so, the expectation is that the movement will gain the figures of 2018, when in 10 days, the country stopped due to the shortage of truck drivers. Truck drivers claim that Alexandre de Moraes himself will be the leader of the movement. The truckers that had been in uninterrupted mobilization since the election results on October 30th decided to expand the protest in defense of freedom and democracy. This occurred shortly after they became aware of the arbitrary decision of the judge of the Federal Supreme Court, Alexandre de Moraes, to block the bank accounts of 43 transport companies, as well as of some individual truck drivers. The situation in Brazil is escalating. Tensions between Supreme Court judges and the people have taken on gigantic proportions in a way never seen before. We pray that these tensions will ease and that the country will not collapse. As of November 19, this Saturday, the highway toll concessionaire in Mato Grosso, Rota do Oeste, reported that there are 6 blocked points due to protests by truck drivers on the roads in administers in the state. This survey at 9 a.m. this Saturday, 19, informs that 2 points in Lucas do Rio Verde, 3 in Sorriso, and 1 in Sinop are blocked. The protests with banning and blocking of lanes, which began on October 31st had ended on November 8th. However, with the decision of Minister Alexandre de Moraes of the Federal Supreme Court to block the accounts of companies and people for allegedly financing the demonstrations, caused the demonstrations to return between the night of Thursday 17th and the morning of Friday the 18th. At kilometers 687 and 691 of BR 163 highway, in Lucas do Rio Verde, according to the concessionary, there are demonstrators in the area blocking the highway with the vehicles and tires. The video posted on Saturday morning shows protesters setting tires on fire. Now, latest news about economy. In a letter, economists who supported Lula warned the Works Party, Partido dos Trabalhadores, PT, in Brazil. Armínio Fraga, Edmar Baixa, and Pedro Malan show concern with the president-elect's statements on tax rules. Those three are economists who supported Lula for this term, which will begin in 2023. Economists Armínio Fraga, Edmar Baixa, and Pedro Malan, who supported the candidacy of Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva in the year's elections, wrote a letter to the president-elect this Thursday, 17th, in which they show concern with the recent PT statements on tax rules. Earlier, during the 27th United Nations Conference of the Parties on Climate Change, COP27, Lula defended the end of constitutional spending ceiling in the increase in a source to finance social programs. Fraga, Baixa, and Malan point out in the text released by Folha de São Paulo, a Brazilian magazine, that obedience to fiscal rules is a fundamental condition for solving social problems. The challenge is to take measures that do not create bigger problems than the ones we want to solve, they argue. Economists observe that, contrary to what PT members say, the rise in the dollar and the fall in the stock exchange are not the result of the actions of malicious speculators, but the measures in the speech of the president-elected Lula da Silva. They also say that the spending cap does not take money from education, health, and culture. It is not a conspiracy to dismantle the social area, they point out. Okay, this is the latest news from Brazil. I'm Leonardo Mendes, and this is Brazilian Bulletin. Thank you.